you can get good boots for under $300. But scratch that, you can get great boots for under $300. It's a real sweet spot because while I've also got a video on the best boots for under $200, it's up there somewhere. I think staying under $300 is a really good way to get yourself some really good quality boots. I'm talking about Goodyear welted boots, full grain leather, resolable, comfortable, look better as they age. You don't have to go over $300. And you can even get them made here in America, which is where I am, by the way. I'm in Brooklyn, don't let my accent fool you. And that brings me to the very first entry on this list, which is the Vanguard boot from Thursday Boot Company. Costs $265. Thursday Boot Company isn't the oldest boot company on earth, but they've had stratospheric success in the industry by marrying quality and value in a way that no one else really does. You might be acquainted with their Captain boot. I know I am, I've got two of them. But the Vanguard stands out from their offerings because it's made in the United States from start to finish. The laces are made in the US, the steel shank inside here is made in the US, the eyelets are made in the US, even the porn in the sole is made in the US, which means it's slightly different to the porn in the Captains. These boots here are the burnt copper Vanguards I actually wore on a lengthy trip all over the Middle East. Here's some footage of me running around with them in Jordan and in Lebanon. These shoes are old-fashioned and they're a bit less sneaker-like than the Captains, which are a little bit softer underfoot and almost $70 cheaper at $199. The Vanguard has the home field advantage though, plus it has that heritage look and feel that I think most guys crave from American service boots like this. And you can get them for $265. Number 2 on the list of the best boots for under $300 is the Red Wing Moc Toe. Who can make a list of great boots without mentioning Red Wing? Red Wing deserves this spot on any list of great boots, and Red Wing heritage boots are actually mostly under $300, and they're made in the US. In my mind, I think of them as over $300 boots, but that's mostly just the Iron Ranger. My first pair of Goodyear welted boots when I was a young man arriving in New York City, having grown up in the tropics, not understanding what a boot was, it was these Red Wing 8890 Moc Toe boots, which cost $280. And I actually recently got these resold. That's why I got this funky red thread here. And the Red Wing Moc Toe is worn by Drake and Ryan Gosling and everyone else. Normally they don't get this charcoal leather. They get the 875, the Oro Legacy Moc Toe. That's like kind of like more of an orange color. That one's very, very popular. But in any case, even if you don't want to get a Moc Toe boot, Red Wing's classic blacksmith boot is also $299.99. The Rover is $270. And again, all these boots are made in the United States. Red Wing also has their own tannery as well, so they've got really good quality control over the final product. All the boots are Goodyear welted, the leather's nice and thick. The break-in is not fun on a Red Wing boot. They almost always like give you blisters and stuff. But once that leather softens up, you've got boots for a long, long time, and they're real like Americana as well, like freedom's in their DNA, you know? That's an American boot. Number 3 is the Delaware boot from Parkhurst. Sounds ridiculous with my accent. It's Parkhurst is how I would be pronouncing that if I had a better accent. The Delaware boot from Parkhurst. Not many people know about this company, Parkhurst. They were founded only in 2018. They're the oldest company, but they are totally made in America as well, right? So thus far, I've all been talking about made in the USA boots because it's actually quite rare to find made in America boots for under $300. Parkhurst's Delaware just makes the list at $298 for this boot. I've reviewed 2 of their boots. The other one was over $300 actually. It was made of a green kudu leather. But if you get it was the Allen boot, and if you get a non-kudu leather, like the June Rough Out or they've got like the Waxy Commander, those boots are also under $300. So if you just don't get the kudu leather, you can get a boot pretty much like this, just without the toe cap, for under $300. Actually, what am I talking about? I actually have a discount code with Parkhurst. I totally forgot. Sometimes they decide that too many people are using it and they cancel it. But usually Stride 10 gives you 10% off of anything which is not made to order. So that brings the price under $300 for just about all of their boots. So why are they good boots? They're a little bit similar to the Thursday boots in that they do a great job of combining the dress boot and the work boot. Like it's wider than a dress boot and slimmer than a work boot. So it's like a really versatile sort of look, right? It's also, again, totally made in the United States in northern New York State near Buffalo. And they're extra water resistant as well because they're made with a split reverse welt, which is like a storm welt, which is like a Goodyear welt, but the welt curves up onto the upper here so that it's a bit more effective at keeping water out. So resolable, made in the US, great leathers, day-night outsole, water resistant, under $300. Parkhurst, they're worth checking out. Number 4 is the Chelsea boot from Grant Stone. Grant Stone is a groundbreaking footwear company that is widely considered to make Alden level quality shoes, like shoes worth over $500 for close to $300 because they are made in China. And while I know that might bug some people, like some purists, 100% of people who have handled and worn their boots swear they could be made in Italy. Like the leathers are all from really famous European and American tanneries like CF Stead and Horween. And while a lot of the boots are over $300, if you get the waxy Commander leather they call Earth, which comes from CF Stead in Britain, you can get the diesel boot or this very nice Chelsea boot for under $300. This is $280. And they've got a bunch of other boots for under $300 as well. Like all their suede boots are under $300. So they're very traditionally made. There's no fancy EVA foam or anything, but it's got a leather midsole and the insole, which is exceptionally rare at this price point and like a real hallmark of more expensive boots. They're exceptionally well-crafted shoes. They're heavy-duty feeling, but they're very modern and don't feel like they belong on like a warehouse floor or anything. Grant Stone, very high-quality stuff. Definitely worth checking out. So I just said the Grant Stone doesn't look like it belongs on a warehouse floor, but what if you do want boots that belong on a warehouse floor? There's a lot of back and forth as to like when a boot is good for work and when a boot is more like workwear inspired. But the best balance, it seems, of form and function in that regard is a classic Thorogood Heritage Moc Toe, which is usually about $205, maybe $215. First of all, anytime it's mentioned on my channel, commenters jump in saying it's their favorite boot for like warehouse work, roofing, all that stuff. And like in college, I spent 3 years working in a warehouse in college. I'm actually not the most dainty guy on earth. I'm more like the second or the third. And the sole here, they call it the Maxwear Wedge outsole. Thorogood actually designed this one themselves to be more resistant to wear than standard Vibram Christie soles. Like they last 25% longer than them, according to Thorogood. And I'm betting longer than Red Wing's wedge soles as well. It's also resistant to a degree of electrical shock, and it's oil and slip resistant. Plus, there's a rubber midsole and pour-on insole and a removable dual density ultimate shock absorption insert. So the shock absorption is like absolutely phenomenal with these shoes. It's also got a storm welt here as well, meaning it's like very, very water resistant and it's resolable, and the boots look pretty good as they age. Like it's not the best quality leather in the entire world. I wouldn't say it's as good as like the other brands we've looked at, I don't think, thus far anyway, but it's a good boot. It's a very good boot. It's inexpensive, it's work friendly, and it's got a little flag on it as well. Check that out. So the Thorogood Moc Toe, yeah, probably the best boot that's like good for work, but also still looks like a classic Heritage Americana type boot. So a lot of people really like where it kind of neatly slots in the boot industry there. Number 6 on this list is the Beckett Simonon Dowler cap toe boot. This is a boot that I have reviewed and I have worn a lot. I don't currently have it because I lent it to a buddy who is currently in Australia and he got stuck there for 6 months because of certain things happening in the world right now. But anyway, I have worn the boots. I really, really like them. I'm just gonna show some footage from like my review on screen instead. Beckett Simonon boots are made to order in Colombia. And actually with my discount code STRIDE, they're actually just about all under $200, like about $183-ish. Without it, they're about $229. Whatever you do, they're well under $300. The boots of those that I own are the Dowler cap toes, but if you want some Chelseas, they've got casual and kind of dressy ones. The Moc Toe Gallagher boot they've got, Brogue boots, all of these boots are the same price. So again, with that code, $183, without it, $229, very, very good value. They're not Goodyear welted, to be fair, but they are resolable. My Dowler boots have a leather outsole, midsole, and insole too, which is really, really comfy and really soft. The boots have a shank for stability and arch support. The leather is Italian. When I got them, it was Argentinian, but now it's Italian calfskin. And it's just got a really versatile look as well. The main downside is that it takes 2 or 3 months for them to be ready because they make them to order, which saves on like manufacturing and storage and everything else. So that's the price of the price. You know, if they're like $200, we have to wait a while to get them. They're good boots though, man. Take a look at their website. Number 7 is the Oliver Cabell Chelsea boot. I have 2 Oliver Cabell boots. I mean, I have 4 of them. I got 2 pairs of Oliver Cabell boots. And like most of the companies on this list, they're direct to consumer or DTC. So that means that they save money without having to have like brick and mortar stores. So you don't have to wait forever like you do with like Beckett Simonon. You don't have to wait like several months or whatever for them to come. They do have them, they're just like, they're somewhere else. They don't have a store. You have to get them only online. Here I have the pretty popular Chelsea boot, and the price is right at $248. My buddy Brock at the Modest Man actually decided that this is the best boot for under 300 bucks. The suede's from Italy. It's lined with vegetable tanned leather, which is very unusual. It's very hardy. And these Chelseas come with this really, really soft crepe outsole, which is super comfortable, super, super springy. It immediately gives you a permanent footprint of dirt on it, but that's just kind of how crepe rubber works most of the time. They're pretty cool boots. They're a bit narrow, but they are good, and they're 248 bucks. So yeah, they're definitely, this is my favorite boot from Oliver Cabell. Number 8, let's get weird. Taft. Taft or Taft, if I had a more normal American accent. Taft is a company known for its unusual standout boots. Weird looking boots they have. They have weird looking boots. They're unusual, but they have such a nice wide range of weird that you're likely to find the kind of weird that you think you can pull off. Like the kind of weird that works for you. This is the one that I found. This is the weird that works for me from Taft. The signature boot is the Jack boot, this one here. It's not a leather boot, it's a wool boot. It's lined with leather and has leather toe caps and counters, but it's a woolen boot, right? $275 is the cost of these boots. I think they're very fun to wear. I actually often wear them with a blue suit, like at weddings, that kind of thing, where it's a bit more kind of festive environment, but casually as well. They're like very good. They're just fun, man, these shoes. I fully respect that some people hate them. I did when I first saw them, but then they just kind of grew on me and I just kind of had to have them. I mean, are there many other Taft boots that I would never wear? Yes, definitely. But if I had to come up with a slogan for them, it'd be find your weird. Like if you want something a little daring, Taft will probably have something for you, and quite likely it's gonna be under 300 bucks, mostly. Some are over 300 bucks, but the Jack boot and their second most popular boot, the Rome boot, is 275 bucks. So it's a good brand at this price range. Number 9 is Doe Shoes. This here is the 420 boot. Doe Shoes is a shoe company down in Mexico. They do made to order shoes. So again, you get like a little weight, but usually they're pretty good shoes. A lot of them are actually under 200 bucks and just about all of them are under 300 bucks. This boot here is the 420 boot in chrome pack. It's a chrome tanned leather from Horween Leather Company in Chicago. But you can like get service boots from these guys with like Red Wings SB foot leather. You can get it in Horween's Rough Out, in green chrome XL, blue chrome XL, calf leather from France's very famous tannery Danone. You can get boots in shark leather, and all of those leathers I mentioned, which are very, very famous, are under $230. The two big downsides of these extremely inexpensive boots are they take 3 to 4 weeks to get. That's not a crazy long wait, especially relative to some other foreign companies, but 2 to 3 weeks. And the other downside is their website is absolute garbage. It's so bad. It's like super hard to navigate, and they're an online company. So I don't know why they're like dragging us on this, like on a redesign. I've been complaining about it for years and it's still a terrible website. But if you have a little bit of patience, you can like get shark leather boots for 230 bucks, man. Like, it's a very, very good company. The quality is very good. The website needs work, but if you spend a bit of extra time on the website, you can find like a very good and very inexpensive, very good value pair of boots is what I'm trying to say. So it's worth the work. The last entry on this list is the Urban Shepherd Original, which is a really unusual, it's a very underrated company. Like I own no boots that are like the Urban Shepherd boot. They're made in Portugal, and like a lot of boots are made in Portugal, right? Like Taft's boots are mostly made there, but they really deliberately made them Portuguese. Like they're made in a 5th generation owned workshop in Benedita, which is like the traditional home of Portuguese shoemaking. And they're modeled after like traditional Portuguese boots worn by shepherds and farmers and masons in the mountains of Portugal. Like notice how the toe isn't like round or sleek. It's kind of oblong, I guess you'd call it. The calf skin is undyed as well. These have been like wearing in like pretty hard. Like these have been actually worn quite a lot since I bought them. This is the Vibram 2656 Cape Town Gumlight. It's really, really soft. Like it's true that some guys don't like the red stitching on these shoes though, but this is a boot that's it's unusual but is understated. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's over the top, and if you want something that's like a bit different but not weird, these are pretty cool. And the sole is like really nice and soft. The leather wears in really well. If you really hate the red stitching and the oblong toe, they do have a service boot called the Backroad Brown, if you want like just like a more normal looking boot. But I really dig these original boots. And if you use my code, you get some free wax for waxing the leather, which ups the water resistance and deepens the patina and stuff like that. It makes it age better. So yeah, you can get some free wax of these if you decide you like them. All right, man, that's my list. Best boots for under 300 bucks. I capped this off at a nice 10, but I do have some honorable mentions, some other brands in the article in the description below if you want to check that out and see like all of my thoughts on the best boots for under 300 bucks. But yeah, 10, pretty good list. Let me know if you've got any favorites as well in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe as well to get a lot more boot reviews and comparisons and jacket stuff and bag stuff and all that kinds of heritage, long-lasting, quality goods stuff coming up.